Welcome back to Arise Prime Time. I'm Charles Eniegolu. This is the part of the program where we invite our guest analysts to assess what you've heard on the program so far and to explore the stories and issues of the day. And for that, we have the journalist, political affairs commentator, and Arise News analyst, Dr. Constance Ikokwu. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Let's start from the top, our intro, where we talked about Atiku taking the PDP out on the streets and going to INEC's office. What is your assessment of that? This is going on the streets, but in a peaceful manner.
That was quite startling. As at last week, when they, gave the press conferences, it seemed like they wanted their followers to sort of fall back, relax at home. We're going to court, so we will fight this through the legal means. We don't want to have protests, so things get out of hand. So it's different. I mean, I was surprised to see today that they were going to the INEC office to protest. Having said that, I think that there have been a lot of reactions and a lot has been said about this election so far. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, it's not going to be easy for him to sort of redeem his already battered image in the face of coming elections. We have another election on Saturday, and all eyes again will be watching to see what he does.
A lot of pressure on him.
A lot of pressure on him. But some would say that what he has done in the last 2 weeks in terms of the presidential election is a masterclass in how not to conduct an election, especially one that is going to be unforgettable in the history of this country.
And of course, we know from listening to the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Leonard, that's the other big development of the day, saying that the presidential election failed to meet the expectation of Nigerians. I mean, apart from piling more pressure on INEC, because she was saying that INEC must put in place reforms before Saturday's election. I mean, what's your assessment of her analysis there? And her
everything happened in the full glare of the world, in the full glare of Nigerians. We all saw it on social media, in the mainstream media. So it's something that played out. And it's not surprising what she's saying. A couple of other countries have also told the same line, although some have congratulated the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All eyes are now on the next elections on Saturday. And the thing is, people are not discouraged as yet. Both parties, especially the Labour Party, has told their supporters to go out and make sure they get the seats. They grab the seats at the governorship level, because governorship level is also important in Nigeria.
Very.
Yeah, you could be a president. You also want your party to be at the state level. The thing is, these young people, this movement is not going down. I think that people are going to go to the polls on Saturday, in fact, troop out and vote for their candidates.
And obviously, everything that we've seen, the optics, you've got the PDP, Atiku Abubakar out on the streets. You've got the U.S. ambassador talking about the election not meeting the expectations of Nigerians. But it is when a court of law looks at all this, the opposition would have to prove that all this was deliberate and that it affected the outcome of the election.
Of course, I was listening to the last guest, and it really sounded laborious. He made it sound like it is a difficult process to actually prove in court that there was sufficient manipulation in order to be able to upturn the results. It might be an uphill battle. Like he said, nobody knows what is going to happen. But again, in Nigeria, anything can happen. Whatever we're saying now is just speculation. INEC has given, no, sorry, not INEC. The tribunal has given the two parties, the opposition parties, approval to inspect election materials.
Yeah, but we understand that INEC's gone back to court to try and ask to get permission to alter the beavers, to reset them, as it were, for the election on Saturday.
That's right, because according to INEC, they need to reset them. And then people are saying, reset what?
And what happens to the information?
Exactly. So are you going to give them true certified copies of what you already have, the information you already have in the beavers before you reset, or what's going to happen. It's important that nothing is tampered with. So you see how this thing is playing out. Let's see what the court says to INEC.
Yeah, but everything, of course, will depend on the weight of evidence that the opposition can present. I mean, that's the only way they have the slightest chance of winning the case.
Weight of evidence, but also the honesty of the judiciary.
Right.
We already know that people,
that's a good